You think Virginia is just colonial history and politicians? That mental picture just cost you the truth about America's most underestimated state. Today, I'm counting down 22 facts that'll completely rewrite what you thought you knew. And trust me, number one is going to change how you see the entire country. Fact 22, the cave monopoly. Virginia doesn't just have caves, it has over 4,000 documented caves, more than any other U.S. state. Luray Caverns alone contains the world's largest musical instrument, the Great Stalacpipe Organ, which uses 3.5 acres of stalactites to create music. Drive through the Shenandoah Valley, and you're literally driving over a hollow mountain range. Fact 21, the forgotten rainforest. Southwest Virginia contains temperate rainforests that receive 60+ inches of rain annually, more than Seattle. The Mount Rogers area hosts ecosystems with wild ponies grazing at 5,000 feet elevation, surrounded by rhododendron thickets and Fraser fir forests you'd expect in the Smokies, not the Old Dominion. Fact 20, the Chesapeake crater. Buried beneath the Chesapeake Bay is a 53-mile wide impact crater from a meteor that struck 35 million years ago. It's one of the largest impact structures on Earth, and it still affects groundwater, earthquake patterns, and why the bay exists in its current form. Virginia sits on top of a cosmic collision site. Fact 19, the Barrier Island Ghost Coast. Virginia's eastern shore contains a 40-mile stretch of barrier islands that are completely uninhabited. No roads, no bridges, no development. The Virginia Coast Reserve is one of the last pristine coastal wilderness areas on the Atlantic. Wild horses, nesting sea turtles, and beaches that look exactly as they did in 1607. Fact 18, the presidential factory. Virginia has produced 8 U.S. presidents, more than any other state. But here's what matters. 4 of the first 5 presidents were Virginians. For 32 of the first 36 years of American history, a Virginian was president. Virginia didn't just participate in creating America. Virginia was America for the first generation. Fact 17, the internet birthplace. The internet doesn't live in California. It lives in Virginia. Ashburn, Virginia, a town of 45,000, hosts 70% of the world's internet traffic. Data centers covering millions of square feet process every Google search, Netflix stream, and Instagram post. The cloud isn't in the sky. It's in Northern Virginia. Fact 16, the Pentagon Command Center. The Pentagon isn't just a building. It's the largest office building in the world. 6.5 million square feet, 17.5 miles of corridors, and its own zip code. Built in 16 months during World War II, it became the nerve center of American military power. Every major military decision since 1943 was made in Arlington, Virginia. Fact 15, the Tobacco Empire origin. Jamestown, Virginia didn't just establish the first permanent English settlement in 1607. John Rolfe's 1612 tobacco cultivation created the cash crop that financed the entire colonial economy, funded the Revolution, and built the plantation system. One Virginia crop shaped 400 years of American economics, politics, and racial history. Fact 14, the CIA headquarters. Langley, Virginia houses the Central Intelligence Agency headquarters, the most secretive organization in American government. But here's what nobody tells you. The CIA Memorial Wall contains 140 stars representing agents killed in action, with 40 names still classified. Virginia doesn't just host intelligence operations. It's where American secrets are born and buried. Fact 13, the humidity extreme. Tidewater. Virginia doesn't just get humid. Norfolk and Virginia Beach regularly hit 95 degrees Fahrenheit with 90% plus humidity, creating a heat index above 115 degrees Fahrenheit. The combination of Chesapeake Bay moisture and Atlantic air creates a sauna effect that makes summer feel like breathing through a wet towel. It's one of the most oppressive climates on the East Coast. Fact 12, the ham obsession. Smithfield, Virginia has been curing hams since 1779, and state law defines Smithfield ham as hams cured within Smithfield town limits using a specific process. You can't make a Smithfield ham anywhere else. It's legally protected like champagne or Parmigiano Reggiano. Virginia trademarked a pork product and turned local tradition into international law. Fact 11, the Underground Railroad. Richmond, Virginia was the capital of the Confederacy, but it was also a major hub of the Underground Railroad. Lumpkin's Jail, one of the largest slave trading sites, had tunnels beneath it used for escapes. The same city that symbolized slavery also contained networks of resistance. Virginia's history isn't simple. It's layered with contradictions. Fact 10. The salamander capital. Virginia has more salamander species than any state east of the Mississippi. 56 species, including the rare Shenandoah salamander found nowhere else on Earth. These amphibians are indicator species. When salamanders thrive, entire ecosystems are healthy. Virginia's mountains are a salamander biodiversity hotspot that rivals tropical rainforests. Fact 9. The Appalachian Trail Headquarters. The Appalachian Trail Conservancy is headquartered in Harpers Ferry, West Virginia, but 550 miles of the trail run through Virginia, more than any other state. Virginia contains the trail's most iconic sections: McAfee Knob, the most photographed spot on the AT, Dragon's Tooth, and the Grayson Highlands. If you want to understand the AT, you have to walk Virginia. Fact 8. The Shenandoah. Silence. Shenandoah National Park's Skyline Drive offers 105 miles of mountain views. But here's what matters. Old Rag Mountain and certain backcountry areas offer acoustic silence. No human-made sound for miles. Just wind through oak forests and the distant call of ravens. It's one of the few places in the mid-Atlantic where silence still exists. Fact 7. The peanut monopoly. Virginia grows fewer peanuts than Georgia, but Virginia peanuts are different, larger, crunchier, and premium priced. The Virginia-type peanut commands 30% higher prices and is preferred for gourmet snacks and ballpark sales. Virginia didn't win on volume, it won on quality and turned regional agriculture into luxury branding. Fact 6. The music birthplace. Bristol, Virginia is the birthplace of country music. The 1927 Bristol Sessions recorded Jimmie Rodgers and the Carter Family, the recordings that created the country music industry. But here's the twist. Bristol sits on the Virginia-Tennessee border. The recording studio straddled the state line. Country music was born in two states simultaneously. Fact 5. The cyber warfare capital. U.S. Cyber Command is headquartered at Fort Meade, Maryland, but the majority of America's cyber warfare operations run through contractors in Northern Virginia. Reston, Herndon, and Tyson's Corner host the companies that conduct offensive and defensive cyber operations. Modern warfare isn't fought with tanks. It's fought from Virginia office parks. Fact 4. The Jamestown Mystery. Jamestown was the first permanent English settlement, but 90% of the colonists died in the first year. Then during the starving time winter of 1609 to 1610, archaeological evidence confirms colonists resorted to cannibalism. A 14-year-old girl's skull shows butchering marks. The founding of America involved eating each other to survive. That's not in the textbooks. Fact 3. The tornado. Surprise, Virginia averages 18 tornadoes per year, but the 2011 Glade Spring tornado was an EF3 that destroyed an entire town in Southwest Virginia, a region that's not supposed to get violent tornadoes. Climate change is pushing tornado activity into new areas, and Virginia is on the frontier. The state's tornado threat is increasing, not decreasing. Fact 2. The accent divide. Virginia contains 3 distinct accent regions: Tidewater, coastal Southern with British influences; Piedmont, classic Southern drawl; and Appalachian, mountain dialect closer to Scots Irish. Linguistic studies show you can pinpoint someone's Virginia origin within 50 miles based on vowel pronunciation alone. What outsiders hear as Southern is actually a Virginia-specific linguistic map that reflects 400 years of settlement patterns. Fact 1. The hidden superpower. Virginia is the only state that was home to both the capital of the United States, Richmond, 1861 to 1865 as Confederate capital, and the capital of the rebellion against the United States. But here's what matters now. Virginia has transformed from the heart of the Confederacy to a purple state that elected its first black governor in 1989, Douglas Wilder, the first black governor in U.S. history since Reconstruction, and has become a tech and defense powerhouse, generating $650 billion in GDP, larger than 20 entire countries. Virginia went from defending slavery to leading American innovation in 150 years. This isn't just redemption. This is proof that states can fundamentally transform their identity, economy, and values within living memory. The old Dominion became the new Dominion, and it did it without erasing history. It learned from it. That's not nostalgia. That's evolution. Every single fact you just heard, from the cave monopoly to the economic transformation, was hidden behind a mental model that said Virginia equals colonial history and Civil War battlefields. The geographic perception cartel convinced you this state was stuck in the past. But Virginia hosts 70% of the world's internet traffic, elected America's first black governor, contains a meteor crater beneath the Chesapeake Bay, and proved that regional transformation isn't just possible. It's already happened. The stereotype wasn't just wrong. It was hiding one of the most dynamic states in the country. Which fact completely rewired your brain? Drop the number in the comments. I want to see if number 1 hit you as hard as it hit me. And if you're from Virginia, tell us what we missed because I know there's more. Next video, I'm breaking down the state everyone thinks they know, but actually has backwards. And the number 1 fact is going to make you question everything you learned in school. You won't want to miss it.